If you saw my initial deep dive into the ViQure EpiPro 808nm diode laser a few months ago, then I'm guessing that you're back for the 6-month update on my results, and I'm happy to deliver. 6 months, that's enough time to move past the initial treatment phase and into the real world maintenance zone. Today is all about whether I experienced any long-term hair reduction or any changes to my skin. For anyone wondering if the ViQure EpiPro laser hair removal device really works, this is the long game answer that you've been waiting for. Now, I've tried a lot of hair removal devices. You know the ones. They promise the world, but they only make your hair a bit confused for a few weeks. And honestly, I was ready to give up on home hair removal completely. But this device, is it the one that actually works? Well, I guess you're about to find out. The real question isn't just if the hair shed, but did it stay away? And this is the difference between a temporary fix and a valuable investment. Most people only focus on the initial hair shedding phase, and that's easy. But the true test, and the reason for the common search, why is my hair growing back after laser hair removal, lies in the depth of treatment. IPL, or intense pulse light, is a broad spectrum flash, like a shotgun blast. Only a small fraction of the light hits the melanin target in your hair follicle, often just stunning it. This is why IPL results are often temporary and why it's less effective and riskier for those with darker skin tones. The 808nm diode laser is a precision sniper. The specific 808nm wavelength is a scientific sweet spot, highly optimized for absorption by the melanin in the hair, and all while largely bypassing the melanin and water in the surrounding skin. This means deeper, more focused heat right at the root of the follicle, which is exactly where you want it. Now, when that focused light is converted to heat, that's selective photothermolysis in action. This targeted heat destruction truly permanently reduces the follicle's ability to regrow hair, and the ViQure EpiPro, being a true diode laser, uses this same gold standard technology that you find in clinic. So, after completing the initial course of treatments, my results aren't just a temporary reduction. I'm happy to say that the results I've got so far are actually stable. And this stability is the key to achieving a successful strategy, being proactive now to prevent the hassle later. So, what does real life with the ViQure EpiPro look like 6 months in? This is the point where you stop worrying about hair and start enjoying the freedom. Because it's not about hair slowdown anymore. It's about having stable long-term results. And the results on my underarms are pretty decent. So after 8 sessions, I have seen a big reduction in the regrowth. In fact, I'd estimate around about 90% less. The hair is basically gone, and it regrows finer and finer every time. Now all I do are just quick low frequency touch-ups every 4 weeks, and I'll continue doing this until no hair regrows at all. But the hair reduction overall has been huge. The remaining hairs, regardless of the area, are much finer and slower. And now, shaving is definitely the exception and not the routine. So the last time that I actually done a treatment was 4.5 weeks ago with the ViQure EpiPro, and as you can see, I have pretty much almost non-existent hair growth under my arms now. There's been no shaving, there's been no depilation, I think you call it. My underarms have just been left to do what they're going to do. Now there are some very fine hairs, almost like peach fuzz coming through now. So the hairs are still growing on some of the follicles, but for the most part, they seem to have been put into dormancy completely. And because this growth is so minimal, it means that the game has flipped from removing hair into simple maintenance. And as there is some fine peach fuzz and a little bit of regrowth in place, and I'm 4.5 weeks out since my last treatment, I might as well do that now. All I'm going to do is I am going to select hair removal. I'm going to select my skin type, which is a level 1. I'm a Fitzpatrick 1. I'm going to be treating my underarm, so click there. Click next. Going to put the ice cooling on because nobody needs to be feeling that heat underneath the arms. It can get intense. And now I'm good to go. Going to apply a little bit of gel under the arms just to help the frequency glide and penetrate into the root nicely. Just a small amount is enough. Take the device under the arm. Now I should have my goggles on, but we all know that I'm not doing that. It's a bit warm at times, especially when you go over a couple of times. So I'm doing a 50% overlap, and I'm just going to go over each of the areas twice. Now, like I said, this is the really simple maintenance. I've only got to do this once a month, every 6 weeks now. And it really is just for those tiny fast touch-ups whenever I spot a little bit of new regrowth coming in, or a bit of peach fuzz that needs to be gone, or when I spot a stray hair, which is exactly the kind of minimal effort that I've been looking for years. So I'm just going to turn this off for a minute because it's a little bit loud. I'm kind of excited about talking about this as well, which is one of the unique features of the ViQure EpiPro. So we talked about the dual functional aspect of this device in the last video. The fact that the 808nm wavelength is also an incredible tool for skin rejuvenation. And after 6 months of using this mode, the results are undeniable. Remember how the 808nm wavelength penetrates deep into the dermis? Well, it hits that Goldilocks zone. Deep enough to damage the follicle, but also deep enough to stimulate your skin's fibroblasts. You know, the cells responsible for creating collagen and elastin. In the skin rejuvenation mode, the device uses different lower energy pulse settings to create gentle controlled heat deep beneath the skin's surface. And this thermal energy essentially sends a signal to your skin saying repair is needed. The result is a natural collagen production boost. And after using the skin rejuvenation mode on my face, on my neck and treated body areas, I've seen 3 main benefits. First, there's been a fantastic pore size reduction. The texture of my skin, especially on my cheeks, is smoother, and the pores are less noticeable. Second, my skin is looking a little bit firmer and a little bit brighter. There's a visible improvement in the overall firmness, and my skin, to me, it just looks healthier, more plump and more radiant. And finally, softening of some of the minor redness from those old breakouts that I used to have from my cystic acne. So for me, it's a fantastic anti-aging device in its own right. And it's simple skincare math. I bought a professional grade hair removal machine, but I got a clinical level anti-aging treatment as a bonus. And in my opinion, that completely boosts the value of the ViQure EpiPro. Now, it's a little bit cold in here and these could cut glass right now, so I'm just going to throw my shirt back on. But a huge concern I get in the comments is about safety, especially for those with different skin tones. So here's why the ViQure EpiPro's diode technology is a game changer for a wide range of users compared to those older IPL devices. Essentially, the 808nm wavelength is highly selective. It targets melanin in the hair root much more efficiently than a broad spectrum IPL device does. This means less energy is wasted on the surrounding skin for less risk of burns, damage or wasted energy. You've also got the advantage of the built-in sapphire cooling, which is the most important safety feature. This tip cools the skin on contact, again dramatically reducing the risk of burns or discomfort, even when you're using those highest energy settings. It basically protects the surface of the skin while the heat goes deep to treat the follicle. Now, of course, it's always important to do a patch test, but this technology offers far more flexibility. Not only has it got an intuitive touchscreen LED display that allows you to pick your skin type, your skin tone, your hair color, and also the region that you're going to be treating. It also takes into account those different zones and areas, modifying the energy output and the pulse width. But you've also got a little bit of a manual override on that as well, so that you can adjust it during the treatment session. I mean, how cool is that? So let's hit the most common questions that I get from people thinking about investing in this diode laser device. Is the hair really going to be gone permanently? The short answer, yes. But let's be realistic here, because the industry term is permanent hair reduction. The follicles that have been destroyed are gone for good, but your body is a complex machine, and hormones and aging and dormant follicles mean a new hair may grow that you wasn't expecting. The difference is the density and the texture, because it's dramatically reduced and finer, and the full course provides an incredible result that requires only minimal maintenance. How often do you need to use your hair removal device now? For hair, I'm down to an occasional 5-minute underarm laser treatment every 4 to 6 weeks. if that. It's more about catching the occasional new stray hair than treating a full area. For the skin rejuvenation mode, I am still using it consistently on my face every 4 weeks to keep that collagen pump working. Is the inbuilt cooling system still holding up? And the answer to that is yes. This is what makes the ViQure EpiPro a superior experience for me. The sapphire cooling technology chills the tip down to near freezing, even when I use the maximum 30 joules per square centimetre energy for those stubborn spots. Now, this skin contact is going to be cool and comfortable is what I've experienced, and is also non-negotiable for an effective at-home laser, and it's so important for treating all the different skin types. So, after 6 months, I figured out a few simple things that help to keep my results looking fresh and maximise the life of my investment. The hair growth cycle is not a straight line. Hair follicles enter new growth phases all of the time, and instead of waiting for a lot of hair to come back, I schedule a quick 5-minute touch-up session on my chosen areas like my underarms every 4 to 6 weeks. By doing this, it stops any new growth before it starts, helping keep my underarm hygiene at an all-time high. So I've also discovered that gentle exfoliation between sessions is key because it helps shed the treated hairs and it prevents any ingrown hairs from forming. And this is going to leave my skin perfectly smooth. You also want to clean the treatment window on the device head. And this is a small thing that makes a big difference because hair and skin oil can build up on the window, and a quick clean with a dry wipe keeps the light transmission clear, ensuring that the laser is always working at its peak efficiency. So I want you to think back to the $5,000 to $8,000 price tag for full body treatments in a clinic. My one-time investment in the ViQure EpiPro, which is safe for pretty much all skin tones and hair types, and with 5 million shots on this device, it's not just an investment for you, it's practically going to be a family heirloom for hair-free skin. I just feel like the bottom line is that if you're tired of IPL disappointment and you want the same clinical grade 808 nanometer laser diode technology, but shrunk down for your bathroom or your bedroom, then the ViQure EpiPro is the answer. Now, I'm not saying it's a miracle cure, but it is consistent, it's powerful, and it's scientifically designed for those longer lasting results. And with consistency, patience, and a little bit of good science, that's honestly all you really need to enjoy maximum hair removal at home with minimal fuss or effort. The reason why I like to keep my underarms hair free is for hygiene reasons. I don't need to be walking around smelling a body odor. I am on top of my hygiene, of course. I shower twice daily. I use underarm deodorant. The hair just gets in the way, and this makes keeping everything clean and hygienic super simple. And if you're a guy or a hairy woman who embraces underarm hair, kudos, good for you. I get that hair removal is not for everyone. This video is about removing hair, so if you're one of those people and you're here, why? But yeah, I hope that this update gives you some of the real world perspective that you needed. I'm honestly so happy with these 6 months results, and I really can't wait to see how the maintenance phase goes over the next year. But if you've got any questions, the comments are open, so feel free to ask away. Otherwise, thank you for joining me for this one today. Have the best day ever, and I really look forward to catching you in my next video. So till then, TJ over and out.